And our fourth main topic today comes to us from Darren Tresse, who writes, I am a 34-year-old man, and if I could still legally be adopted, I'd want to be adopted by Samuel L. Jackson. Did you guys see the major gaffe the marketing team on Spider-Man Far From Home made on the images where they have Nick Fury's eye patch on different eyes? And did you see Jackson's response to it? Classic. All right, so for those who don't know what Darren might be talking about, of course, Nick Fury, his most iconic thing about him physically is, of course, the eye patch. That's been, regardless when we had white Nick Fury or Samuel L. Jackson Nick Fury, that's always been a hallmark staple of Nick Fury. Well, apparently, Nick Fury, played by Samuel Jackson, Sam Jackson was not so happy. When he put on his own Instagram this, he came across a couple of posters marketing the movie. And this is when he saw 2 different Spider-Man Far From Home billboards with the patches on different eyes. To which Samuel Jackson put this out, and then he wrote underneath it, this was his caption, what the actual fuck is going on here? Hashtag heads gonna roll. Hashtag left eye motherfucker. I can't even pretend to do it in Samuel Jackson's voice. So he goes out and sees this. Now, Rob, here's the thing, guys. Aaron, and you may not know this, but when we were talking about Game of Thrones before, there was this big gaffe on Game of Thrones.
The water bottle.
Where 2 of them, actually, the water bottle on set and the Starbucks coffee cup.
Oh, yeah.
On
Daenerys.
set.
Liked her lattes.
Yes, liked her lattes. That's right. And so we got into about, hey, look, it's not really a surprise that it happens. Really more, it can be considered a surprise that it doesn't happen more often.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said for that. But when you're talking, especially in the hubbub and the action and everything that's going on a live set, a lot of things going on. By the way, I love this image that Ray made. When you're talking about the action and all this stuff that's going on a set, and there's hundreds of moving pieces, thousands of moving pieces, hundreds of moving people, things like that. But then you come to something like this about a piece of marketing that you sit down with. They put a lot of money into marketing these things. You go over it with a fine-tooth comb. It goes through several different sets of eyes for approvals and blah, blah, blah. And you look at something like this, like, Rob, like on a set, time is money. You're moving quick. You got to get the shot done because then you got to move on and get set ready for the next shot, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but this sort of thing, is there any excuse? I mean, look, I don't want to blow this out of proportion and say, well, this is going to cost them hundreds of millions of dollars. Not at all. Obviously, not in the least. But Rob, really, when you're looking at a mistake like this, is there any excuse for something as blatant as this?
Well, look, I mean, the art of the movie poster has been dead for a long time. And all of this is just a Photoshop mistake. And to be honest, nobody was paying attention. Nobody who's doing this,
it's not like it was one guy. It had to be several layers of people giving
and
approval.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
The last thing anybody's paying attention, they're looking at the image, they're looking at, because they flip actors all the time.
Well, yeah.
I mean, the fact that Sam Jackson happens to have an eye patch over his eye, they weren't even thinking. I guarantee you, they're just thinking about the composition of this. It looks like a billboard, or maybe it's the side of a bus.
It looks like it's 2 different ads placed side by side,
right?
on a
the
walkway
original
or
ad
on a bus thing.
Yeah, something like that. And whoever did it was like, oh, that looks good. They flip actors around. They flip to make them look however they want all the time. So it's not something, most actors don't have eye patches. Right. And so somebody just did what they always do, not thinking that the actor would get upset or that it's a thing. And I think it was just not even thought about. And Sam Jackson saw it, and look, I think he's making a little bit more of it. He knows too. He's had his image flipped on posters before. All actors know their good sides, and they're like, "Why did you have to flip my image like that? The picture was taken one way. Why'd you have to do that?" And so it's not unusual, but because there's an eye patch, I think it's hilarious, and in a way, it's kind of great viral marketing. Mm-hmm. Sam Jackson's basically saying, if you didn't know that Spider-Man Far From Home was opening on Tuesday, a week from today, let's do some fun viral marketing that everybody's going to love that only Sam Jackson, can do. Mission accomplished, sir. I salute you, and Sony should be kissing the feet that you walk on.
You might have a point there, that maybe this was all by design. I mean, it's a possibility it's all by design. Aaron, one of the most, and truly, this is true because I've said this before on this show, even when you're not here. Some of the most fun, like individual, a lot of movies do these individual character posters and things from the movie. I thought the bitch slap stuff
genius.
Was so fun because it was sexy, but it was fun and it kind of communicated the energy and stuff like that. So that was a lot of creative work going into that, a lot of Photoshop work, like creating the scenes and everything. But can you think of a time, another time that either on a movie like your own or something you've worked on, or even something out there where you can think of another big kind of marketing mistake like this? And beyond that, is it really a big deal? Like, I'm kind of feeling it's a big deal. Rob is raising some really good points about maybe it's even by design. Where do you fall in all that?
Well, I mean, yes, obviously it's a photo that was flipped, which is kind of, I think, lazy. I mean, I've done these photo shoots that you do for marketing, and they are hours and hours, and it's an entire day, and it's a whole setup. They have thousands of images to choose from. Thousands. So to flip the photo like that, to go, we've chosen the one photo, and instead of choosing another photo where the eye patch is on the right side and it makes sense for the composition, we're just going to flip the photo. That's just laziness on the part of the marketing team. I don't think that Sam Jackson was necessarily mad about it as much as he was like, seriously, guys. I think that he's the kind that, and also you're absolutely right, Rob. He calls it out because it's great viral marketing.
He's having fun with it.
He's having so much fun, and I think it's fantastic. I do remember one case, and I don't remember if this was for Pirates of the Caribbean or if it was for another show, but when Keira Knightley saw that her breasts were largely augmented for the poster.
I remember this. Yes.
I do remember what movie it was. I don't remember, and she said, "Absolutely not. I am proud of my A cups, and you're gonna take those things down because I'm not gonna be a part of you marketing my body to look a way that it doesn't." I think it's unhealthy and it's unrealistic. That really stuck out in my mind of an actress, putting her foot down and using her ability as the star of the film to say, no, you're not going to sexualize me in that way. That's not what we're doing here in this movie. So I do remember that. But as far as, I will say this also, when it comes to coffee cups on set and those sorts of things, it's not, it is a lot of the hubbub of, the busy what's going on, but also it's the fact that a lot of times on something like that with that big budget, you have multiple cameras shooting at one time.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you'll be on set and you've got your coffee cup down here and you're like, oh, is this okay? Is this in the shot? And the first AD's running so many things and they go, oh no, this is just a tight on you. We're just tight on you. When they say tight on you, you assume anything from the waist down. You can go pantsless. It doesn't matter. You can have your cell phone sitting in your lap. But if there's one camera that somebody didn't realize is actually getting a wide shot, that who knows? But I think that those are the situations. Is a lot of times the actor is told, "Oh no, we're right here." So that's how you have a coffee cup in front of you.
I want to speak to something. You reminded me of something. An actor like Sam Jackson has probably likeness approval.
Oh yeah.
So when he sent a photograph or he sent an image that he signs off on, that's the photograph he signed off on. Same with like Keira Knightley. You don't alter that photograph. That's the whole point. That's why an agent gets you likeness approval in your contract. Because remember, kids, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate.
That's
it ain't
true.
show friends,
you don't
show
get
business.
You don't get what you don't ask for.
No, and so when an image that an actor has signed off on is altered, that can be problematic. And that also shows a certain lack of maybe understanding where the marketing people are doing something real quick but they're not remembering that these images have been approved. They've gone through studio approvals, they've gone through contract approvals, and you shouldn't alter them.
Because also at the end of the day, no one's going to be saying, "Did you know that Joe Bob Smith over there at marketing messed up that?" They're going to go, "Did you see that Sam Jackson is wearing his eye patch on the wrong eye?"
Yeah.
They're automatically going to think it's the actor that for that photo shoot wore his eye patch on the wrong eye, and that Sam Jackson doesn't know what eye his patch goes on. There will be people who actually think that.
You're absolutely right.
Well, listen, guys. I think you two have kind of moved me off my position a little bit. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought. But listen, ultimately, the only thing that matters here, guys, is what do you think about this? Do you think this is a big deal to botch? Do you think maybe this was all planned as a part of more marketing push? Do you think it's something that everybody, including Samuel L. Jackson, maybe just missed, or do you think it was someone's gonna have their heads roll for this? What do you think about it? Jump down to the comment section below and leave us your thoughts. All right.